Hi, Lisa.
Hey.
Thank you for coming in today. What would you like to talk about this session?
Okay, I'm going through so much. My husband and I have been married for about 7 years now. We've tried to have kids, but there's no kids in sight
Okay.
for us. And we're just going through a whole lot of emotional pain about just not having a kid.
Okay. So you and your husband are both feeling frustrated because you're not able to, as of yet, you haven't been able to conceive any children.
Yes, frustrated, sad, overwhelmed, just not good.
Okay. Well, could you please tell me what stage are you and your husband? Where are you now as far as the children process?
We're tossing the idea of actually adapting,
Okay.
and which brings up another can of worms. My family is from Ethiopia. He is originally from India.
Okay.
So we're thinking we can actually be good parents to anybody from any one of those places.
Okay.
But there's so much going on. We're trying to make decisions whether we actually want to adapt from there, from either of the countries. And of course, I want to have an Ethiopian kid.
Okay.
He wants to have naturally an Indian kid.
Okay.
So our whole family, of course, have a say in it, and they would like to have their own color, their own ethnicity, and all that represented within this family.
So you're feeling, again, more confused and a little hesitant about not only to adopt a child, but also where to adopt a child from.
Yes. There's a lot going on within the family dynamics, and I'm sure we're going to let one family down because one side is going to feel, either the Indian or the Ethiopian kid is going to come, and they will have a hard time with that.
Okay. Can you tell me who's involved of the outside aside from you and your husband, who's involved in this decision?
It seems like almost everybody except us are making these decisions for us. My family, my husband's family are involved. His parents are here. His sister, brother, my family, and my brother.
Okay.
It almost feels like everybody wants to have a say in it.
Okay.
There's also one thing I haven't mentioned to you is there's also a conflict between what we want to do when the kid actually arrives here.
Okay.
Whether I'm going to be staying at home or I still need to work. You know that too.
Okay, so that just adds another level to everything. Now you're feeling, again, conflicted about what to do as far as your work, as far as your career.
Yes, there are just way too many decisions here, and I just don't know how to proceed. And every time my husband and I try to talk about it, both of us get sensitive, and we just stop talking about it.
Can you tell me in what ways you and your husband have attempted to discuss the situation?
Well, we'll start off with actually talking about it, and we try with what do you think we need to do, how would you like, how would you feel, and before we know it, we start blaming each other, and we just stop talking about it.
Well, I would like to know how you feel. Tell me what your point of view as far as working after you two choose to adopt.
I love my job.
Okay.
I'm kind of torn between being a stay-at-home mom. Yes, I can do that. Financially, I would be able to do that. But at the same time, I really find fulfillment in working outside the home.
Okay.
So I just can't picture myself just, staying at home, being a homemaker.
And what does your husband feel about this?
He feels strongly that if we're bringing a child, into this marriage,
Mm-hmm.
he would like me to give 100% of myself there.
Okay. And just another step outwards, how does your family feel about this option or this decision?
My family feels like, well, even there's a conflict.
Okay.
My brother feels like I should not lose my independence, so he wants me to keep on working. My mom says you can't be all to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
so she is a firm believer that you need to be a stay-home mom.
Okay.
My dad, on the other hand, since he has paid for my college, he would like me to use that degree.
Yes, I can understand his perspective, but I can also understand how this is a very difficult decision for you. So not only are we dealing with adoption, we're dealing with what to do after this child and where to adopt this child from, and there's just a lot. I can imagine it's a lot for you to deal with at this time.
Too much, yes, I'm telling you.
So first, I would like to try to narrow the scope a little bit so we don't get overwhelmed.
Okay.
Where would you like to start? Would you, because you've thrown out many different situations and events that could be occurring and issues and conflicts that are occurring, what do you feel is important for you to accomplish first before we attempt these other hurdles?
I really think my husband and I need to be on the same page.
Okay.
And it's a very sensitive subject for both of us to talk about.
Okay.
We don't want to hurt each other's feelings, but at the same time, we keep on doing that with the comments that we're making towards each other. So I really think we need to have a mediator, somebody like you or something, to help us actually discuss the issues in a reasonable manner.
So you and your husband, would you want to talk about the option of adoption versus you and your husband conceiving a child, or have you guys just pretty much decided that you want to take this path of adoption?
I think we're coming to a conclusion that it might not happen on our own, so we are really looking into the adoption process.
Okay. I would just like to take a moment to talk about how does this make you feel as far as choosing this option of going ahead with the adoption as foregoing with you to conceiving your own child?
I'm still, I can go back and forth on it.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I'm thinking, I'm not getting any younger. I'm 35 years old, so I would like to go ahead and be a parent.
Mm-hmm.
But since it doesn't seem to be happening naturally, I need to take this option. That's where I'm at. But at the same time, I have heard of stories about adopted kids, and in case I have another second child, I don't want to feel like I'm kind of torn in between them.
Okay.
But I'm more leaning towards the adoption. I would rather go ahead and do the adoption.
Okay. Aside from being able to provide for another life, and it's something that you and your husband have both desired to have children, what benefits do you see from adoption versus conceiving your own child?
Well, conceiving would be nice because you can really see yourself in your kid.
Mm-hmm.
But since that doesn't seem to be a possibility, at least we can, my husband and I are financially okay, and both of us are mentally, physically capable of taking care of another human being. So I feel like we can provide a good home for somebody else.
Okay. Have you and your husband, I know you've told me that you guys have been going back and forth and having some conflicts, but what exactly is your husband's standpoint? If you could verbalize or interpret his standpoint on adoption versus conception, what do you think his opinion is?
He's more leaning towards the adoption as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are both on the same page as far as the adoption.
Yes, emotionally we're not there, but we know that's the route to go.
Okay.
So we're trying to come up to terms with it.
Okay. So based on what we talked about, we have a list of things that, of course, I would love to eventually get into and to, maybe have some dialogue about with, definitely between you and your husband. But if not, if necessary, we could bring in your other family members. But I would first, with this next session, if it's okay with you, just bring in your husband and you two discuss just this decision to adopt. Because part of me feels that, yes, you guys are both on the same page, but I just want to make sure you're both fully there.
Okay.
At this point in time, I feel a little bit that you're kind of both half there, and
That's
adoption.
accurate.
Adoption's a big process, and based on what you're saying, you've got parents and family members, and now your career at stake with this choice. And I feel like this would be the good first foundation. So, is that?
That sounds reasonable. I think that would be great.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? I mean, are you okay with ending the session now and then starting up next time with your husband, or
I think so.
Okay, well, that sounds good, Lisa. I will see you next week.
Thank you.